Welcome, everybody, to your 2026 Google Business Profile and Local SEO Playbook for landscape, hardscape, and outdoor living contractors. And this is a step-by-step workshop. We're going to be diving into everything that's happening with Google Business Profiles, local SEO, a lot of things happening with AI search in 2026. So my name is Josh Blakeley. I am the owner, founder of Landscape and Hardscape Contractor Marketing. Let's get into it. So to start with, let's take a look at a couple of things. So what we go through here and what my purpose is with this workshop is just to show you where this strategy fits into an overall holistic marketing strategy. So this is what we use for our clients. We call it the Accelerated Growth Roadmap. And really the section here, when we're talking about Google Business Profiles, we're talking about local SEO, AI search, that falls into the organic section of the Drive Leads section here to grow your business, to grow your landscape business. So we're going to be really diving into that today. Touches on a little bit of the reputation side of things, but the core of this is organic strategies to have people finding you online. So the must know 2026 updates. We're going to be looking at how AI overviews are cutting clicks, but they're actually increasing the qualified leads coming through. How Google is now really behaving like an AI recommendation engine, not so much as just a search results directory listings. Really core things around your social media strategy and integrating that with the local SEO, AEO, and now really looking at how popularity signals are outranking old authority. So if businesses who are stuck on old strategies, they're slipping, and there's businesses that are taking over on that because they're not actually pivoting to these newer AI search strategies around the Google Business Profile. So for this, you'll get out of this, you'll get serious results if you listen to this and you apply these strategies. You've got to put it into practice for it to help. So here's going to be a workshop to help you work through what we're doing there as well. And a question in the chat: AEO is the answer engine optimization. Is that clarification there? So we've had SEO for a very long time, search engine optimization. AEO is now looking at chat things like AI search results. So there's Google Gemini, there's ChatGPT, there's Perplexity, there's Claude, all of these different AI platforms. There are a lot of overlapping strategies that work with SEO that work for AEO, but then there are some nuances as well. So we're going to be diving into that here. Why listen to me? Well, we help people in this space. We help dozens of businesses grow through these strategies that we're using. Contractors, landscape professionals, and we're proudly partnered with other local California organizations, the associations. I've written a book on the strategies here called Backyard Empire. You can get a free copy of that at backyardempirebook.com, or you can go grab that on Amazon as well. And really, this is what we do. We're focused on the green industry, helping businesses prosper here, helping them get really industry niche specific marketing guidance strategy, and our growth programs are what we do that for our clients. We handle that, and we're a marketing partner for that rather than that. And some of our valued clients we're working with. But now let's dive into it. So let's really get into the details of the Google Business Profiles being a source for AI. So what is happening here? Your Google Business Profile is now really feeding AI overviews, maps. Google Maps is using Gemini, its AI platform, and implementing, Google are implementing more and more features for that. And now it's integrating into how a lot of people are using voice search. That's been on the rise over time, but now people are using voice search through AI. It's making it a lot easier for people. So it's actually really beneficial when companies are taking advantage of that. So what Google is doing is just pulling together all of those reviews, all the details about your business through photos, categories, frequently asked questions, things like that through your website. It's actually pulling that in and is sourcing this. It's listing it out on your Google Business Profile now, and also then using it as an AI recommendation for people who are searching as well. So really your goal as a company is to make sure that you are just hyper complete. So you've got every detail imaginable about your business out on your Google business profile, on your website, social media profiles all set up saying that same thing, being consistent. And then that you visually rich. This is an industry where visuals go a long way. People want to spend time looking at the projects, researching, getting inspiration, ideas like that. You've got to have that content out there in the form of videos, photos across all platforms you can on the internet. And then dive into really the details about your specialty. What are the services that you specialize in, that you provide there? Going after that, and even having people say that in your reviews is going to be, just a real beeline for these AI search platforms to tell searchers that you are the business providing that. So that's the core of really the AI data source. Now, something else really important that's come up with Google business profiles is the popularity signals are starting to outweigh what used to be just authority. A business had been around for a long time. The website had been up forever, no matter what state it was in, even just reputation as well. So it's tracking. They're tracking. Google is really tracking what people are doing through clicking over to your business, whether it's from AI search, from Google Maps, mobile, desktop, whatever this is. So these things are all getting recorded from your Google business profile. Calls, Google is checking how often someone is calling your business, and even some things like people saving your business or saving or putting in a direction request. The direction request might not be so important for this industry unless people are coming to visit an office or something like that. But it is a ranking. It's an engagement factor. So these are important things to have there. Freshness is a big key here as well. Google wants to see that there are businesses who are actively putting content out there for people who will be looking for the service as well, and how people engage with that. So really, to put a metric to it around what you should be doing, at least getting your Google posts out there weekly, and that is also adding photos to your Google business profile as well. So anything on the job site, before and after, then steady reviews, project updates. All of these things are just fantastic for any business in the green industry here, and Google is going to reward you for that. So Google can read a lot of this. Google can read a lot of what's coming through the photos there. And the AI side of things will only get better around this, but it'll start to really pull out this more and more. But it can tell, it can look at a photo and read that there's retaining walls there, there's a pergola, all these types of things. And even the quality of the photo and all of that, even down to, if not already, looking at the branding materials, suppliers that you've used can be pulled from these photos as well. So anytime you're putting this out on other social media, your website, um, put some detail into it as well. Give Google that information. So you can actually put this text onto photos. You can use things like Canva to put this together. This text, putting them onto photos or social media posts too. Like AI can read that, and that's another signal you can be giving off and putting this out onto your Google business profile as well. So those are some key things to put in. City or your neighborhood, materials, products used, style of the service, and it's a little bit about the outcome as well. All those things going to be really helpful. Now, the other thing you want to do is just make sure that your Google business profile is really mirroring what's on your website. So you build out service pages on your website. In your Google business profile, you have your categories, then you can put in your specific services there. So at a minimum, you want to make sure that you've got information in those services about the location and the specific services. That's an opportunity to go really deep, really specific around the types of services that you're providing, and even brands you're using or products. Put that in there as well. That's an important part of your Google business profile, and mirror it to your website. So, Techo Block, really key, well-known industry supplier there for pavers. Go that extra step and put that information in, and then all the specific services on your website, and then make a Google post about it as well. Put the post up, have it linking over to your website. Okay, now there are a couple of kind of key categories you can put into your Google business profile. landscape designer are really the big ones for the green industry. But there are some other specific ones I've listed up there. So if you're offering those services, you want to make sure you go through your category section and really put in all of the details. If you're doing anything with pools, there's a pool builder, a category pool contractor, I think it's called, around that as well. And then there's a couple of ones. There's a pergola one. Um, there's probably we've identified and but there's about 12 different categories for the green industry and related industries that are important there. So you want to make sure that you've got those built out on your Google business profile. And now, as I said before, Google is really reading through the topics of these reviews. It's really reading through the content. So it's not just quantity; it's quality. So this detail, whatever you can do to get your customers, your clients, ask them, guide them on how to write the review around exactly what the issue was at the start, what you were able to do when you came out and give them that estimate, what the ultimate solution was in the services you provide, and that emotional outcome, and then getting them to put photos or short videos. You can have them do short videos on these reviews. They're going to usually pop to the top of your Google business profile, and they are fantastic for ranking, especially when you're in a really competitive area to put that together. So as I said, ask your clients to mention things there, the services performed, materials used, and it's a little bit cut off there, but the city or the neighborhood that you're in, it could really give you a benefit for that. So uh, next step, looking at AI overviews. So if you go into Google now and you search, a lot of the time it's going to give you a little section AI overview. So people used to have blog articles. They would search for something, the most relevant blog would come up and they'd go there as well. Um, Google is now scanning that already and giving that information over to people as they're searching. So, you want to be thinking through what are the questions we frequently get asked by our customers, what kind of content on our website, on our Google business profile posting can we put out there? And you want to be then the business that gets cited in those AI overviews. So those people aren't necessarily possibly going to visit your website through that, but your business name will be showing up there a lot of the time. And then there will be a link. So sometimes they will click through there as well. But if you're the business that is answering that question, Google is now just making it easier than ever to show up there. And ChatGPT and these other platforms are also doing a similar strategy around that. So your Google business profile around that, having posts linking back to these blogs is also another way to really pull all this strategy together. Now, we already talked about freshness a little bit as well, but you definitely want to make sure that you are just getting Google recency is a good way to think about it. So, recent content being put up there as well, making sure you're responding to reviews. If you can't get the clients to read reviews with the projects, have someone on your team be putting up photos regularly about what you're doing on your Google business profile. And last month I did the Google local services ads, your local services ads profile as well. That's tied to Google business profile for reviews, but the images and photos on that are not. So you want to be putting them on both if you're running local services ads as well. Get them out there, and of course, get them out on your website there too, and other social media profiles. And this is this is one of the biggest things right now. Really, as of the last week and a half or so, this is starting to show up. Google now has a social media update carousel pulled into your Google business profile, so right next to it on the searches. So within your Google business profile, there is a section to link in all your social media accounts. And if your branding is strong, if you have the consistent naming across the website, Google will even suggest or do that automatically in your profile. But you want to make sure and you've gone in and added them all. If you don't have one of those social media profiles set up, set it up. Get it out there. There are great social media tools out there. Make it very easy to post on multiple platforms and do some small tailored fixes to each platform. But you now more than ever want to be getting social media content out there. But yep, the great thing is that you can do it very easily with a lot of these tools for scheduling ahead, using AI to help you craft the posts, but also get that through. So it is now becoming, and I've been saying this for over the last year because short form video has been pulled from social media profiles. But yeah, like I said, this is really, really new. The last week and a half, 2 weeks, starting to pull this into your Google business profiles, that social media content there as well. So you want to make sure that you are getting that out to really pull in all possible avenues for people to learn about your business, click through to your Google business profile, call through there, call through Google Maps. All of these things, you want to take every opportunity to be the business people click on that way. So, like I said, connect up those profiles, make sure you're active, posting consistently. And yeah, there are lots of things you can post about. Obviously, reminding people of the services you provide. Could be a special offer. It could be a seasonal offer, particular products, materials that you're using in your projects, locations you're serving, and then just the expertise. So those are your kind of educational content as well to kind of help people learn as well. But you got to go beyond just that education side of things. People want to see what you do, and you want to get AI recommending you that way. So this is a question that's been asked a little bit. As we take a quick pause, is how much do Google Maps really matter now with AI? Is ChatGPT going to take over all of these things? Google is not going to let that happen with without a fight whatsoever. So we know Google is pivoting and changing things, but it's still Google business profiles are still a really core part of what happens now when people search. This picture doesn't show the AI overviews, but local services are now showing first. Then you still have your map section, and that looks different on different devices, different configurations, and Google is testing and trying things out there as well. But it's still a massive part of one of those things that shows up there as well. So very, very much still matters. And if you're just relying on paid ad side of things, that can get expensive. You want to be building up the organic branding side of your business as well. And if you haven't set one up, that's where you go. Go to business.google.com, and you have to verify them with videos pretty much in 99% of the time now, unless you're an established brand. Um, and how to get this rank, like I said, as much as possible. So build out those categories, fill in all the other information. Your business hours are a key thing for ranking. One of the core strategies here is to have either a after hours answering service, but now AI answering services can be implemented very easily. Show your businesses 24 hours and have that AI system, that voice system answer after the hours. You don't want to answer the phone. So you do get some ranking benefit for that too. But people at least would rather have a chance to give the details of what they're looking for after hours for you then to get back to them as soon as possible. And then some other technical things we talk about is called on-page SEO and schema markup. That's more of the technical back end of the website. So you want to make sure that those things are implemented. And I have a whole workshop really diving into the website side of things. You can take a look at one of those past ones to get some more ideas around that. Where possible, try and get that verified physical address. They just show up more than maps, and it's just a little stronger signal. I wouldn't even say little. It is a large part of showing a stronger brand signal online when you have that physical address. And again, you can just do that by renting small office. When you compare it to what you might pay to rent an office per month, that even if it just brings you in one extra lead or two that turns into a job, it's well and truly paid for itself. So, $200, $300 a month or less, depending on what you want to do there. There's lots of opportunities there to make sure you can get a physical address showing there. Make sure you use a local phone number. Don't use an 800 number or anything like that. And then really just making sure you're listed on all of those platforms directory online. And then that is consistent across the board with things. So one of the questions coming through is working out of the home and going to clients. And totally understand if you're not wanting to put your home address on. Again, go back to having an office space there. Like you might get occasional people show up or something like that, and that's why you have the reception area there to collect information. But we've just seen it time and time again, the ranking benefits of having a physical address when you're showing up in that 3-pack of a Google business profile search results by having a physical address. We just encourage all our clients, where possible, get that physical address. And of course, if you don't want to have it at your home, try and find that small office space around you to at least have that opportunity. You'll have to go in, you'll have to have to do the video verification in a lot of things. The mail the UPS store, a bit of a hit or miss. You can try it. Sometimes Google will let that go through, but a lot of the times it is asking for video verification now to do that as well. So it works until it doesn't. Essentially, your profile can get suspended. But yeah, you could, if you want to try that option first before doing the paid step. If you're paying for your mail, it's certainly a lot less than renting an office. So yeah, you can definitely try that strategy too. And we've seen it. We've seen it work without video verification, and profiles going out for years with no suspensions. We've seen it get denied straight away, and that video verification, they won't approve it unless they can see signage and things. Or in the middle ground, we've seen it work initially, and then down the line, it's getting suspended. And that's a whole process to go through with getting profiles unsuspended. And a lot of the time now, they're actually asking to see either a live video or a video recorded of that as well. So um, try at your own risk. It's worth trying if you've already got that set up. That's for sure. Okay. Now, other key things, really, the review count, quality, and recency are big things with your ranking with reviews. And it's started to shift a little bit over the last 6 months, where consistency of reviews coming through. It's not so much the number of reviews. I mean, you really want to be aiming for at least 40, 50 reviews as soon as possible in the business. But then Google's wanting to see that you've got then consistent reviews coming through, even if it's just, 1 or 2 a month is better than nothing there as well. And then responding to it as well. Any photo, video content, really just avoid anything AI generated as well. Make sure it's your own work, your own projects in there as well. And then we already talked about the social media side of things there too. Then we have things like the off-page Google Business Profile options here. And a lot of these things, one of them falls into press releases. Press releases, you can, they're paid services. It's a strategy we use in our growth programs with our clients. But it's putting out press articles about the business, and within there you can link directly to Google Business Profile, directly to the website, and other parts of the site or profiles there as well. But that's one example of getting backlinks. Other ones is joining things like your local chamber of commerce. They give backlinks. These are all great things that Google is going to tie together with your Google Business Profile. If you can't link to it directly as possible, then you're going to be still at least getting that connection. Google is going to see that as well. The EEAT, now that is it's something Google brought in a number of years ago about looking for how to determine which types of business are most trustworthy. And the EEAT stands for you've got experience, expertise, rotativeness, and trustworthiness. Wherever you can show these different components about your business, the better. So really, a lot of the strategies I just kind of talked about now there as well. Let's pull that up so we could see they are pulling and tying in a lot of those sections there for you. So if you're doing a lot of the things, the strategies we already talked about, that's covering most of the areas of EEAT. There. Brand mentions are great. We talked about that with press releases. Once you have your Google Business Profile set up, another key thing you want to do is go to bingplaces.com and you can just sync your Google Business Profile with your Bing Places profile. That's going to appear on people searching on Microsoft Edge. Whatever you put on your Google Business Profile, if you have that sync on, you've got another entity online for showing people what you do and how you do it. All right. Now, another really key thing Google has been doing is pulling out sections, and it has been happening for a few years now, but really now more than ever is so important to do this, is it's highlighting text people have in reviews based on their search there as well. So again, another reason to get people to write as much detail into those reviews, and then you can reuse them throughout other marketing, even physical marketing. You can put up what those people have said about you online as just other ways to build your credibility and help you with the sale. So you should be monitoring your Google Business Profile. Google has the free dashboard for this as well. I won't go into that too much, but here's a couple of link building strategies as well. I already touched on a few of these here as well. But community events are going to be great for this. People seeing your branding out there. If they're searching your brand name and your Google Business profile pops up and they're clicking through, calling you, or looking at your website, those are all those interactions I talked about at the start of the presentation, which in the physical space is generating online inquiries, online engagement, which is fantastic for ranking. So things that you could be hurting, what's happening with your ranking. If you're in a big metro area, like let's say you're in Phoenix, and you're trying to get clients from the central Phoenix downtown area, or even maybe off to Scottsdale or to the east of that. But your Google Business profile is way on the other side of the west side of Phoenix. Your business profile is never going to rank for those other areas. There's just too much distance, and particularly Phoenix is a massive physical metro area distance-wise. But your Google Business profiles, they're going to have a limit of roughly 10 to 15 miles that are going to show up on maps there as well. So again, the targeted office strategy in the area you most want customers from can be a great way to do that as well. You want to make sure you don't have duplicate locations showing. If you just search your business name, usually you can see that, or in the back end of your profile. And you want to make sure that you remove that old profile, or if you've got some mishmash of one has reviews and the other has reviews, can request Google to combine those as well. They have support for that as well. And then inconsistencies around your name, phone number, another big ones. If you've rebranded your name, make sure that is the same full out written name all across every social media platform, across the internet directories, and make sure you've got that consistent core phone number for that core location you've got. If you're in multiple locations, you want to have specific phone numbers and addresses for those other parts. And primary category is a big deal. Most people doing landscape construction, design build, landscape designer is going to be fantastic. If you're moving into other areas of maintenance and things like that, landscaper is going to cover those ones. They kind of cover the big core areas of your Google Business profile for that. And then, as I showed before, there's other specific categories you can also add in around that as well. And we talked about reviews with that. So having said that, we really dived into a lot of the core foundational things too, as well as some of the updates around Google Business profiles in 2026. So if anyone has any further questions, feel free to put it in the chat. We can go through some of those. And if not, feel free to reach out. You can contact us through our website. You can even just text our phone number off our website, or that's probably the easiest way if you have a question. We'll get back to you. And then if you want the really detailed overview, like I said, you can get a free copy of this here as well. A lot of detail in that book around things there for your online marketing strategy, not just for your Google Business profile, but all the other elements there as well. So, yeah, look, Kate, yes, I know we spoke the other day. I can, absolutely have a look at your Google Business profile. That, in fact, let's do that live. We can keep going here with your Google Business profile, and I will just make sure that you're actually seeing my screen to go through that. We can absolutely have a look live. This should be showing now. And I think it was in my search history here. Just remind me your business name again, okay? Now you're up in Bremerton, Garden Vision. There we can see all my saved coffee spots in Seattle. Now, I believe we did talk about this actually in our call. You have two Google Business profiles. One of them shows the address, one of them does not, and they both don't have reviews. One is linking to your main website link. One is linking to your About Us page. Google is going to throttle this. And if you notice, actually, when I even searched it, the profile that's showing is the one showing the address. So there's just an example of Google prioritizing that. And then this is just a Chrome tool I use to look at what the categories are. But yeah, the big thing here is the reviews. for your Google business profile. And I mean, let's take a look at this one. And maybe, yeah, you could be suspended or something right now. Mm. Actually, that is unclaimed. So you should definitely click through here, click on claim this business, and Google will take you through a method. It'll email your whatever email account set that up, and you might be able to claim that again and use that. But for this one, you want to make sure really that you're pulling out everything that you do on your website, which I know is getting redesigned for that there too. But yeah, uh, a lot of content just missing here. Looks like you filled in some sections, but photos and videos are the big one. Getting reviews is going to be the other big key for you there. So that that would be the core starting point for you. Whatever you get done on your new website, all of this services categories you should fill in for your Google business profile, and then start a collection process for reviews. Start reaching out to every person you've worked with, friends, family who know what you do, and then know you've been doing this for a while. So in the back end of your Google business profile, Google actually gives you a link, actually gives you a QR code now for that, so you can get them to start leaving reviews. Okay, and you had a couple other ones. Yeah, so you'll have to claim that other profile and go through that method with Google. There's a button that shows on it. So if you just do what I did, search for your name, and then there was you can look back on this if you need to. But there's a little badge that says claim, and then it'll take you to Google support. You've got to request it. They'll send an email to the account that originally set up that profile, which hopefully you did set it up yourself, and hopefully you have access to that email, and then you can approve that, and it will start putting them together. But well, that's it. That's actually all I have time for today. I do have to run off, but hope that helped. Hope that was really beneficial for everyone. Feel free to reach out further. Like I said, if we got any more questions on things. And thank you. This is Josh Blakeley from Landscape and Hardscape Contractor Marketing. Have a great rest of your day.